Today I'm here with two major gaming stories, and there's a really interesting contrast. On one side, a cancelled Bloodborne remake. On the other, new leaks about The Witcher 4, where Ciri's gameplay, movement system, and combat mechanics are starting to become clearer. So on one side, we have a closed door. On the other, a growing project. If you love both the Souls universe and the Witcher world, this video is for you. Before we dive into the details, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video because your support allows us to keep making content like this. Let's get started. Let's begin with the truly painful topic. The Bloodborne remake almost happened. Yes, you heard that right. According to a Bloomberg report, Bluepoint pitched a remake project for Bloodborne. Sony was reportedly open to the idea, but when it reached From Software, the answer was clear. No. The project was on the table, but it was rejected at the final stage. This news hits especially hard for Bloodborne fans. For years, we've been asking the same question. Why hasn't this game received a modern update yet? You can play it on PS5 via backward compatibility, but technically it's still stuck in the PS4 era. There's no official remaster, no PC port, and now we learn that a remake was actually discussed but never realized. Another important detail here is who Bluepoint is. This isn't just any studio. We're talking about the team behind the Demon's Souls remake. A studio widely seen as one of the best candidates to rebuild a game with modern visuals while preserving its atmosphere and spirit. If this had gone through, we likely would have seen a high-quality remake. But I think the real turning point is this. From Software didn't approve the project. That tells us something important. It's not about money, demand, or technical limitations. It's about creative control. The team behind Bloodborne may not want another studio touching the game, and that directly impacts the future of the title. For years, people have asked, why isn't Sony doing anything with Bloodborne? This report might give us the clearest answer yet. There is demand. There is financial potential. But without approval, nothing moves forward. Bloodborne currently feels like a masterpiece displayed in a glass case admired by everyone, but untouchable. Now let's get to the more dramatic side. This news surfaced in reports related to Bluepoint's shutdown. So while the studio was already going through a difficult period after canceled projects and attempts to pitch new ideas, they put a massive project like Bloodborne on the table. Imagine proposing a remake that could potentially change your studio's fate and not getting final approval. This also explains why Bloodborne has felt buried in silence for years. Rumors kept circulating, a remaster is coming, a PC port is on the way, a 60 frames per second update is being prepared, but nothing ever materialized. Now we understand there was a serious wall behind the scenes. If From Software doesn't want it, Sony can't move forward alone. There's also the Miyazaki factor. According to comments from former PlayStation executives, Hidetaka Miyazaki loves Bloodborne and may want to return to it himself one day. If that's true, then this no might not completely shut the door. It might simply mean no one else should do it, but no one knows when or if that day will come. However, there's a risk here. The gaming industry moves fast. New Souls-like titles are releasing, Unreal Engine 5 is raising the bar, and technical expectations are increasing. Meanwhile, Bloodborne is still remembered for 30 frames per second debates. If too much time passes, this legendary game could start feeling even more dated technically. In the end, this situation shows us something important. A Bloodborne remake was not impossible. It was genuinely on the table. Sony approved it. But From Software said no. And for now, Bloodborne's fate rests entirely in their hands. Now let's move on to The Witcher 4, because there, instead of closed doors, we're seeing leaks, growing information, and an expanding project. While it feels like doors are closing on the Bloodborne side, with The Witcher 4, it's the exact opposite. Doors seem to be opening. In recent days, community research and a few developer slip-ups have led to new details about The Witcher 4 leaking out. And from what it looks like, CD Projekt Red isn't planning this game as just another sequel, but as the start of a new era that pushes the series to the next level. First of all, we already know this. Geralt is no longer the main character. Ciri is, and according to the leaks, the team is heavily investing in motion capture technology to give Ciri a more emotional, more human performance. Unlike Geralt's stone-cold composure, Ciri's facial expressions, reactions, and emotions are expected to take center stage. That alone could make the story feel far more personal and intense. Another major detail is the movement system. The talk in the leaks suggests that the shift to Unreal Engine 5 isn't just about visuals, it's about physical feel. There's reportedly a major investment in the locomotion system, with over 80 different animations prepared just for core movement. The goal seems clear: completely eliminate the heavy and clunky feeling some players criticized in The Witcher 3, and make Ciri feel more fluid and responsive. Even more interesting are the rumored gameplay changes for Ciri. According to the leaks, she may be able to cast spells while walking or in motion. In The Witcher, 3 signs often felt tied to more paused, deliberate animations. This time, the system appears to be much more dynamic. On top of that, there's talk of a dedicated jump button and the ability to dive underwater and swim freely. That would mean more vertical exploration and a more interactive world design overall. Now let me pause here and say this clearly. These are leaks. We're not presenting them as 100% confirmed facts. But when you put the pieces together, the picture becomes clear. CD Projekt Red is heavily investing in the feel of the game in The Witcher 4. Movement, fluidity, combat tempo, exploration, because in the post-cyberpunk era, no one forgives the "we'll fix it after launch" approach anymore. Let's talk about combat, because this is one of the most striking parts of the leaks. Allegedly, instead of using raw motion capture data as is, the team is speeding up animations by around 20% to create snappier, faster, and more satisfying attacks, dodges, and reactions. That might sound like a small technical detail, but it can completely transform the gameplay feel. In The Witcher 3, some animations felt so weighty that inputs seemed delayed. Here, they appear to be aiming for a sharper and more fluid tempo. There's also special emphasis on boss fights. According to the leaks, boss encounters will be clearly separated from regular enemies, with dedicated animators assigned specifically for these battles. The idea is to make boss fights feel truly cinematic, dangerous, and unforgettable, not just a slightly stronger enemy. If they pull this off, The Witcher 4 could strike a powerful balance between a Souls-like intensity and the series' own identity. On the world design side, the goal seems to be a more alive, open world. NPC variety has reportedly been highlighted as a priority. As legendary as The Witcher 3 was, in some areas seeing the same faces in different outfits broke immersion. This time, they want more NPC variation, more reactive environments, and stronger social dynamics to create the feeling of a truly living world. Even small interactions in an open world can make a big difference, especially in a series like The Witcher, where atmosphere carries so much weight. Another interesting claim is that CDPR has assembled a dream team for this project. There are rumors that designers who worked on combat systems in the Horizon series, as well as some who contributed to God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, that are involved. If that's true, The Witcher 4 could see a major leap in its combat quality. Combat was often cited as one of The Witcher 3's weaker aspects, and CDPR has been aware of that for years, so it seems like they're determined to strengthen the weakest link this time. As for timing, the general expectation is that the game won't release before 2027. However, we may see something earlier on the marketing side. There's speculation that around Unreal Fest 2026 June 1618, we might get a closer look at The Witcher 4. So keep this in mind. If CDPR wants to rebuild trust and launch a strong campaign, summer 2026 could mark the first major showcase. Yes, for now, these are the biggest stories in the gaming world. We talked about why the Bloodborne remake didn't happen and the direction The Witcher 4 appears to be heading. Do you think From Software made the right call, or does Bloodborne deserve a modern remake at this point? And with Ciri leading the way, can The Witcher 4 truly push the series forward? Make sure to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.